Fellow elected members of the House, thank you. I rise today in dedicated opposition to House File 68. Education funding is a huge part of our state budget. We talk about it every year, debating the amounts, the percentages, and the increases against inflation. Why? Why is school publicly funded at all? Why do we have this reputation in Iowa for ensuring that every kid has access to a high-quality education? To answer these questions, I go back to my earliest courses as an education major at Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa. Because to do so serves everyone. For our kids, the public schools provide structure, safety, nutrition, physical time, artistic endeavors, an outlet for curiosity, opportunities to try things out and make mistakes in a safe environment, social interactions, and challenges. The schools bring kids into contact with adults who open their eyes to the different paths for careers, hobbies, styles, and fulfillment. I remember realizing how lucky the students were at one school where I taught, because the teachers in our grade cohort represented so many different types of adults. Sporty teachers and nerdy teachers, introverted teachers and extroverted teachers, disciplined teachers and laid-back teachers, gamer teachers, artsy teachers, outdoorsy teachers, and stylish teachers. One of my students remarked to me once that they were glad to be in my homeroom because I was their teacher. And it took me a moment to understand that they meant I was the one with whom they felt the most comfortable, that I was the one they felt most connected to. I spent the weeks and months after closely watching to gradually see that every kid in the grade had that one teacher, and some very lucky kids had two, with whom they shared a special bond. Sometimes I was surprised by who the students gravitated towards, and sometimes it was obvious from minute one. Having diverse staff in a school allows more kids to find that adult in their academic year, and those connections are one of the things that get kids up in the morning and coming into school when things get tough. Personally, I could speak for 10 minutes just about the teachers who inspired me from the age of 5 through my public school career, but I'll spare you that for the moment. For our parents, the public schools provide security, expertise, support, and care. The community school is the team that backs the parent up when they don't know what is causing their kid to struggle. They are the second, fourth, and 10th pair of eyes and ears, keeping watch for kids who are hurting, lost, or confused. They are the place your kid can be while you are working, attending to elderly relatives, running errands, volunteering in the community, and even taking time to be an adult outside of your role as parent. They alleviate the need for every parent to also have degrees in early childhood education, elementary education, and secondary education. They allow your kids to burn some energy, both mental and physical, and to bring home exciting new ideas and skills. They introduce your kids to so many incredible places, words, and ways of thinking, providing them with the opportunity to be successful emotionally, socially, and academically, and try to be the first line of assistance for every kid who doesn't fit in easily. I know I was one of the kids who didn't fit in easily. My public school teachers and staff, particularly those in my 4th and 5th grade years, made me feel safe and valued in my classroom, even when some of my classmates did not. For our taxpayers, the public schools produce informed, self-sufficient citizens. This is the true foundation of the system, the goal of the whole thing from the beginning. For those of you without degrees in education, who did not have the pleasure of reading John Dewey and debating the philosophy of public schools, let me share some quotes. It is the office of the school environment to balance the various elements in the social environment, and to see to it that the individual gets an opportunity to escape from the limitations of the social group in which he was born, and to come into living contact with a broader environment. The school's role is never to tell the students who they should grow up to be, to set them on a path and hold them there, but rather to show them how many paths are available for them to walk down as engaged, contributing, happy members of society. Young people who know that they have options are more likely to try on different self-definitions and eventually build fulfilling lives for themselves, which allows them to be proud members of happy families, to serve the community through volunteerism, and to be open to experiencing change and loss without losing track of their own places in the world. Dewey goes on to stress that while procedures and practices have value, still more important is the fact that the human acquires a habit of learning. He learns to learn. Despite writing before 1920, he discusses the plasticity of the mind and the importance of maintaining our youthful ability to grow and stretch our concepts and understanding. In public schools, we learn not only the facts and formulas, but critical thinking, analytical writing, and problem solving that allow us to respond to new information and difficult situations for the rest of our lives. We all, whether we have children in school or not, pay taxes for a system that will result in our fellow community members having these skills. This plasticity, this habit of learning. Long after we emerge from our pre-K through 12 education, we work together and we need one another. In public schools, more than in any other place in our society, education means the enterprise of supplying the conditions which ensure growth. The criterion of the value of school education is the extent in which it creates a desire for continued growth and supplies means for making the desire effective in fact. Our public schools are designed to instill the desire and supply the tools, and that is why public money goes to our public schools. Finally, for our communities. The public schools serve as hubs. They gather us to cheer on teams. They encourage us to support members who suffer losses and hardships. They create connections between neighbors who may never meet, if not for children who share a teacher or a club. We are fortunate that, if I may again quote Dewey, society exists through a process of transmission, quite as much as biological life. This transmission occurs by means of communication of habits of doing, thinking, and feeling from the older to the younger. The fact that some are born and some die makes possible, through transmission of ideas and practices, the constant reweaving of the societal fabric. The expectation that we provide excellent education systems to the public is the primary means by which we support vibrant, connected, responsive communities with innovative local businesses, appealing events, and busy, exciting associations, clubs, societies, and teams. To close once again with that great thinker to whom I went on the foundations of education systems. A democracy is more than a form of government. It is primarily a mode of associated living, of conjoint, communicated experience. Why then are we not listening to the majority of those with whom we share this associated living, with whom we share the title of Iowan? Public schools are funded with public dollars because they are a major foundation of our conjoint communicated experience. Let us not forget that as we vote today, on behalf of kids, parents, taxpayers, and communities. We are not special. We are fortunate. Thank you, and please listen to the voices of Iowa who cried out so loudly as to crash our email server last night, and vote no.
Chair recognizes Representative Madison.